Welcome to part four. We're joined by Sean. Sean, do you want to just play that video I've just sent you?
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to hearing what he says. Just one sec. Turn the volume up.
Dean Fury here. To let everybody know, I'm here, and I am the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. and Joe Calazatti rolled into one. And if you don't believe me, get behind me on this good journey. Add me Instagram at James Dean Fury. I'm going to conquer the next 15 years of boxing. I train with the best, train by the best, and yeah, we're going to all do it, and we'll reach the top. And there'll be nothing or nobody to stop us. God bless everybody.
Well, he's pretty confident, isn't he, for a young lad?
He is. I am reminded of the last person that said they were the second coming of Roy Jones Jr. and Clay and everything else. And it was Anthony Small. And he ended up promoting terrorism in Kensington High Street. So be careful what you wish for when you say you're the latest iteration of Roy Jones, because there's been some dodgy people that have claimed to be the second coming. And that were Big Malk's mate as well. He don't mention that anymore, does he? About that fella, Anthony Small. But yeah. He's a confident young Fury, isn't he? They never lack confidence, do they?
That's Terry's mate, Anthony Smalls. He was at a show at York Hall, and I remember being with somebody. I'm not going to say who, and I says, "Oh, Anthony Smalls over there. Let's go over and say hello." And he went, "I'm not going over there. He's a nutcase."
Yeah. Last time he was in the national press was for illegally subletting a council flat. So
Bin
he's
Laden.
faced. Yeah, no, he was illegally subletting a flat to someone who didn't know. And they didn't know, they only knew when the housing association came around to do the repairs. So that's how much a man of principle he is as well. And his big mouth friends with him. That's all you need to know. But I'm segueing in terms of James Dean Fury. I don't know if Dean's his middle name really, or they're just playing on James Dean. Maybe he is, but very confident young man, isn't he? Has he not turned over yet? Is he still an
I don't
amateur?
think he's turned over. Yeah, I've seen him spar actually. He's all right. Like he's a tidy boxer,
Yeah.
but he's got it all ahead of him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's put a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But the Furies do promote themselves well, at least Tyson does, and he just jumped on it. But yeah, oh, he's putting himself out there, isn't he? Good luck to him. Good luck to
Yeah.
him.
Uh, Joshua Boazzi against the guy he's just Zach Parker. Liam Cameron were at Troy Jones and
Yeah.
Lyndon Arthur against the guys whose name I forgot. Uh, Horsecock says that three bad lots of judging for all three fights. Do you agree?
I agree for two of those fights. In terms of
Lyndon.
the Liam, in terms of just taking Liam Cameron, while I remember, firstly, um, that was that was a gift, and he almost said I deserved it because I've had bad decisions in the past. That's not how boxing works. You
No.
can't say you owe me one. But yeah, I thought he lost, and that Troy Jones, um, he knew he knew he'd won. The Bradley Rhea fight against Lyndon Arthur, I thought it was really good. It was really good, and I didn't expect Lyndon to have that grip within him because he's such a loose, languid, and relaxed man outside the ring. I didn't think he had that in him, but I know it was a majority decision, but I thought he won it. And as for the Boazzi fight, I do think I've watched it because I'm sad. I watched it twice now, and whilst Zach Parker maybe did deserve to win, and I did, like I say, I'm probably in the minority in this. He did fight on the back foot and then some. And he kept falling over, and his complaint was that, well, he's bigger than me and he kept pushing me over. So it probably was the wrong decision. But Zach Parker, I do think, and I know he's been hyped before and he was meant to be the next big thing, but it's not, he could have come forward a bit. He made Johnny Nelson look like an aggressive come forward fighter in that. So the most shocking one for me was the one they're saying the least about was Liam Cameron, because Liam Cameron has his permanent pity party, doesn't he? So apparently he's happy because he's
What,
got a
playing
belt he didn't
victim?
deserve. Yeah, oh, I'm a victim. I've had a hard life and stuff. And we all know
It's
what
getting a bit of a
he's.
tired old story that all he's doing is copying Rhino.
He is. He is. Ironically, they've mentioned he did an interview saying he's never really don't really speak today. Well, they must have read the same script for how to play
Well, they had the
a
same
South
promoter
Yorkshire.
for years, mate.
Yeah, they must have done the same South Yorkshire victim training. But yeah, that was a robbery. I do think that one was an absolute robbery. Because they want Liam. There's some commercial value in recycling Liam, isn't there, in terms of his pity party. Oh, I've got my extension built. Well done. Um, and then Lyndon Arthur, I thought won. I am biased. I'm a big fan of Lyndon Arthur and Pat Barrett. Big fan. So maybe some bias in there, but I have watched it several times and I did score it to Lyndon as well. And I still think he's got one of the best jabs in boxing. So
Yeah,
good.
he has
But
got a
in
good
terms
job.
of in terms of the other fight, Joshua, um, yeah, I think Parker did win it, but I think if he's gonna win fights comprehensively, he's gonna have to fight a bit differently as well. But yeah, that's boxing.
Yeah, it is. Uh, Izzy
Is
didn't put
he?
a show on. He's got DAZN backing him. That box rec ranking were 518. Bricktops one before that were 457. So he's putting decent fights on, is he now?
Enjoyed it, watched it, really enjoyed it. Again, I bet I only bet if I think I've got some. I've probably bet 8 times in my life now on boxing. I think they've come in the past month, apart from my Audley prediction to KO. Hey, well done, Sean. Nothing. But I bet on the short gentleman Osborne to win, and he did. I'm so glad he got 30 grand. I thought it was really nice what he's spending the money on with decorating the house. I thought, what proper, it just shows you in terms of the purses that some of these guys fight at area title, because he was an area champ, and I thought it was really well deserved, and he seemed a really decent guy as well. I thought Lewinsky could was a strong favourite as well, because particularly at the shorter rounds, I bet on Taz to win his first fight, because I knew they'd give him a fight he could win for his first fight, because he was the only GBM back fighter. Um, but Taz is a powerlift. He's a powerlifter, not a boxer. So I thought he'd struggle if he's having to fight multiple times in one night. But they were relatively even fights. I liked them. I thought it was a wrong format for that very tall guy who was a good amateur, the Welsh fella for Henry or whatever. Um, I don't know why they put him in that format, because he was not built for that. I thought that was and I think he had a good corner with him as well. So yeah, but no, enjoyed watching it. Someone's got 30 grand, well deserved, and a man who'd probably have to fight 6 or 7 times to win that. So I enjoyed it. I think with Prize Fight we got a bit bored of them being every other week, but I'd like to see that again. And I like the Izzy format as well. He's built GBM up, so good luck to him. And he has stepped in the ring, so he does understand boxing more so than Eddie and Frank, who he did lace up the gloves and was in and around it, sparring Fury. So yeah, I don't know, Izzy and stuff, and know far better than me, but
Yeah,
I'd rather
I've
him
met Izzy a few times. Yeah,
I'd rather Izzy make a few quid in the sport than Eddie and Frank, should I say?
good luck to Izzy. That's what I say.
Me
Uh,
too.
because small all's dying, and I think people like I know Rhino's got his debut show, Annie and Donny, although it's not in his name. But his
No.
ranking's like nearly 900. Dennis has just put one on ranking 810. So, and that's Dennis's 181st show. So he's gone backwards,
Brilliant.
Dennis. And I told him other day to his face that do. And he was like, well, it's getting harder. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But he
Mm.
was all right. He took it on chin.
Mm.
Uh, Jonathan says to me, this is going off skew here. Fury's last title win was Del Boy 2022, and Joshua's last title win were Pulev 2020. Why are they about to charge us £40 for a pay per view? That's the word doing the round. It's going to be 40 quid, but a stacked card. Uh, but it's the biggest heist of all, isn't it? It's worse than Izzy's heist at the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, at least it were free. At least it were
Yeah.
free, and someone who deserved the money got it. But yeah, God, I didn't know that when Jonathan's mentioned one of those guys, his last win was nearly six title win was nearly 6 years ago, and between them, they've not had a title win for over 8 years, and we're going to pay 40 quid for it. We're mugs. We're mugs. Not you. I mean, we as the boxing public. But yeah, that's a really good point Jonathan's made. 40 quid for people who are knocking on the door of a decade before a title win. It's I'm laughing because it's not funny, but it's laughable. It's laughable, isn't it?
Laughable, unbelievable. But I mean, and they're still wanting to have tune-ups. This is what's winding me up. They've already, well, the statistics say, well, AJ's last world title win, 2020, Fury, that was Pulev. Fury's last world title win, Del Boy. That's it, 2022. So they're over 5 year and over 3 year away from the best. And they've had defeats since then. But if you say anything, you're a hater. But my argument is this: why are they trying to sell us this for next year, knowing full well it ain't going to be next year because they're going to have two tune ups? They only fight every 11 months anyway, on average.
So we're going to be middle of 2027 when we watch it, aren't we?
Yeah, there you go. But nobody's picking up on it. And nobody's saying to Bricktop and Eddie, look, come on. These are not active. You're talking tune-up fights. The Gads let the cat out of the bag. Why do they keep pushing? Oh, 2026. We were saying this in 2020. It's just
Do,
lip service, isn't it?
do we think it's because he's building his own brand now, so he cares less about? Because obviously he could force that fight to happen in 8 weeks if he clicked his fingers and wanted
They
to pay
don't
for it,
make it
didn't he?
with Artem, dare they? That's the problem because they've had that much free gratis. It's all dried up now. He's shut the doors, hasn't he, on them? And now they're
Yeah,
having to
he's
send for the Sen. Eddie's got a show on his own in Monaco. He'd be like, oh, God, well, how we're going to promote this? They've got the graft to do. But when you've got somebody putting the money up, you can sit back and take your 20%. If your fighter's getting 80 million, right, or the whole show, the purse money, say for Fury Joshua, is and that Turkey puts money up. Let's say this split 200 million, yeah, for one fight. Well, 20% of that's 40 million. That's going to Hills and Bricktop, isn't it? They're going to get 20 million a piece off it, aren't they? So they don't need to do anything. They just sit back. They're not putting their hand in their pocket, are they?
no. And there's going to come a time when Turkey doesn't need them as well, isn't there? If this
Of
takes
course
off
there
with
is,
what he's
yeah.
doing. And I don't think Eddie will care as much because I think Eddie will be going off into the sunset. Frank's got his sons that have got a career in the sport. I say career, a living in the sport. So I don't know what he's going to do. But the one thing Frank is, um, from
Survivor.
gunshot to bankruptcy, he is a survivor. And he never grassed up who did him either. So a little bit of respect for
No.
that because he knows who did it. So yeah,
Well,
I think Frank would survive a nuclear bomb.
he already has. He's survived it. You know what are the only things that survive a nuclear bomb? Cockroaches. They were only things that survived it, weren't they?
Yep, yeah. And I'm not accusing that man of being anything, but he's a survivor and he's tougher than Eddie.
Yeah. Howard Foster. Questions have been asked about him from Mar in Doncaster. I've always got on all right with Howard. Is he getting to be a little bit Ian John Lewis job now, do you think? Tired all that? Because we were talking about him 12 years ago making massive decisions, people were saying. Uh, it's still eating at the top table as an A-star referee. Is it time for him to go like Ian John Lewis?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to me because I know it's a completely different sport. I think it's a sport we both follow, but football referees have an age at which point they stop being able to officiate, don't they, at those
Yeah,
matches? Like your Pierre Luigi Collini and your Clattenburgs and everyone else, they have to, there's a comes a time to stop. And I know that the typical age of a boxing referee is older, and it's probably more difficult to get people to come into being referees. But there has to be something around assessing their competency that's not just in-house. And they also never have to explain the way they've officiated and refereed a fight. And I think you could do that without it being too adversarial and maybe explain away some of the ways some of the decisions they've made. But Robert Smith in particular seems to be steadfastly opposed to that ever happening. And I think that could be something that would probably appease, if not please, people if they just explained why some decisions, but it would expose the rubbish refs to the fact that they just got it wrong and aren't very good. And I'm not saying Howard Foster's that. I think he's been around the block long enough and he's officiated some fights very well. But I do think everyone has a day and a day when they're past it as well. So perhaps we do need to put some into the long grass before they get pushed like Ian John Lewis, who's now officiating Misfits and BKB and everything else. So yeah, I do think there's a time when people should step back willingly, or the powers that be should politely park them as well, because
Yeah.
you can't beat your best forever. Not everyone's as enthusiastic as Mickey Van to the very last fight, so perhaps they should just have some
Mickey Van
systems
were
in place.
Bricktop's man, wasn't he?
He was. Hell of a life Mickey lived. But yeah, he was definitely Bricktop's man.
Fighter of the year, I've got Fabio Wardley from UK.
I don't think there's any real alternatives to that. How could you pick anyone else? A
Well,
man
the
that
Gad's got
continued.
Fury at #1 in his magazines, Ring magazine. He's on selection committee. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, like I say, the less said about Gad's choices in clothing and boxers, the better. But yeah, has to be Fabio. Has to be Fabio. Continuing to win comprehensively. Was the Clark fight this year version 2, or was that just before Christmas?
I think that might have been last year, that one.
Yeah, but even so, like I say, who wins by knockout? He is now the person best placed alongside Ajit Kabayel, but they've parked him with a German hometown fight to face Usyk or a fragmented belt, and he deserves it. I think he's a fantastic ambassador for the sport, which I think counts for something. But in
Yeah,
the ring,
Fabio, yeah.
his fists do the talking. He's stopping the fight. He's winning both his fights by stoppage, and yeah, and he's not the one who decides when those fights stop. So that conversations are nothing. He's won against the man that was meant to be on the best run in boxing, Parker. Say it what you will, but that's what everyone said. So he's gone and beat him comprehensively, hurt him repeatedly, stopped him, and prior to that, stopped a fight whilst losing on points with a shot that he'd drilled in fight in camp for 12 weeks and he executed it. So he's our new executioner.
Yeah. Who's your top 5 in UK pound for pound?
Oh, ah, Wardley. I would put a Tama in there at some point just because of how much he's done so far. Then I've got 3 slots to fill. Oh, at the moment, this is going to be pure favoritism as well. I'm going to stick Willie H in at the moment. This is going to be really terrible when it's also bottom of memory. I'm still thinking Linden can come again. I'm going to stick. So I've got two light heavyweights no one agree with, and 2 heavyweights, and then another one as well. Top 5 UKs. I'm still going to stick Galal Yafai in because his last fight I'm going to forget, and he absolutely schooled Sonny Edwards, and I think he's going to get a deserved world title fight because I am disregarding that fight because it was against someone that threw over a
Eddie's
thousand
gone
punches.
quiet on him, hasn't he?
He has. I've seen recently Sonny Edwards, bizarrely, being the only person pushing him. So I don't know what's happened there because he does need to get a move on because he is in that weight. He's over 30 and he didn't turn pro. He did 2 Olympics, 2 Olympic cycles, 2 Olympics. But I'm sticking him in there as well because he was on the crest of a wave and he's not had one crap fight since he turned over. He did a little bit of a Joe Joyce. He never took an easy fight, but they're my top 5. Probably a terrible pick for everyone when I reflect on it, but he's got to be one for me. Olympic gold medalist, undefeated now. And he fought a world champ who's recently lost his world title fight. So yeah, they're my top 5. Absolute favoritism. Moses in there, not because he's my favorite, just because for the age and everything, I still think he's one of the ones. So there's mine. But Fabio firmly at the top, and I can't separate the others.
Well, I've got Lawrence Okoli at #5, cruiserweight, bridgeweight champion, 2-weight, WBC #1. He's also box rec #5.
Can I change your mind already, Porky?
Well then,
I'm going to chuck a timer out and chuck a Coley in. Sorry, I'll shut up
all
now.
right. #4, Lyndon Arthur, European champion at light heavy. Crocker, number 3, IBF welter champion. Wardley, WBO interim heavyweight champ, undefeated. Nick Ball, WBA featherweight. That's it. Fury and Joshua not in there. To win
I
actually.
forgot. I forgot our only world champ, Anna. This is why I should never have any influence in boxing, ever, as well as knowing nothing about it, is that I managed to forget our only world champion as well, which says all you need to know about my abilities and observations of the sport.
Okay. That's about it. Well, listen, it's been great having you on, lad. 420-minuters.
Loved it.
Hope you're well. Have a great Tuesday. What's left of it? Pop, pop, bang.
Take care, my friend. Bye bye.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment and sharing the videos. If you get bored, jump on Porky's International YouTube. I've got Mark coming on this week, Liam's dad. That's about it. Porky's Corner was brought to you by Spartan Demolition. Peace out.